Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Heist Brewing Company out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is another beer out of their Burst series. So the first one they did was Mango Burst. This one is Guava Burst. So it's their version of like a milkshake IPA. So this one has pink guava and vanilla IPA. It's 6.7 ABV. And yeah, that's about it. There's no other description on here, so let's crack it open and see what we got. So as you can see, this is really, really hazy. Pretty much like orange juice, but a little darker, not quite as bright. With a really small white head that dissipated really quickly. um, the aroma is big guava. I'm not really getting any hops or vanilla for that matter. So let's see what it tastes like. That's really interesting because the aroma is just so much guava, and the flavor is hardly any at all. That's very strange. So in the I'm getting like no vanilla in the aroma, but in the taste, the vanilla is like the dominant flavor, and in my opinion, it's too strong. Excuse me. So the vanilla is certainly like the big forefront flavor. There is some guava in the middle, and then it finishes with like this bitter resinous hop character, which is kind of interesting because I wouldn't really think that type of hops would be used for something like this. I would expect it, to use like Citra, Galaxy, like some pretty juicy stuff, but there is some like resinous component to it, which is interesting. But I think I wouldn't expect that to be used in this, but I actually think it's a good thing because it adds another layer and it kind of cuts into the vanilla, because I'm guessing there's lactose in this too. It cuts into the vanilla sweetness and the fruit character. I know this sounds silly because I don't know why this is the case in my head, but sometimes these milkshake IPAs to me, they either seem like all the components are working together for one really nice flavor, or B, they're all fighting each other to be the dominant flavor, and it just doesn't really meld well together. And that's kind of what I'm getting out of this. Because there is that big vanilla, which I don't know. I wish it was less than what it is. And then you get the guava mid palate, and then a little bit of a resinous hop on the back end, but they're all kind of just like separate flavors. They're not melding together to give the impression of like a guava milkshake beer. If that makes any sense. But I would say most of these milkshake style beers, I'm not the biggest fan of, and it's not that any of them are. I don't usually think any of them are gross, or I don't want to drink them, but I just don't really understand the point of them. Like if I'm drinking something hoppy, then I want it to taste like hops. I feel like you can just make like a smoothie type fruited beer, and so basically, if you took these smoothie type fruited sours, where they're basically a kettle sour with fruit and vanilla, just don't kettle sour it. Just make that base like simple wheat beer, and add a shit ton of fruit and vanilla, and like that would get to that flavor that you want. To me, adding hops to that doesn't do anything. Like it just muddles the hop flavor. So if you're just trying to accomplish fruit and vanilla, you can do that without hops. So I just don't really understand the point of trying to make these milkshake IPAs. Like you can get to that flavor and it be more true to that flavor of like a fruit and a vanilla milkshake or whatever without having hops in it. So I don't really think the hops add anything to what you're trying to get to. And if you're trying to get to that fruit and milkshake flavor, the hops are just, kind of blocking some of those tastes. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. But most of them are at least decent, and I don't mind drinking them. But a lot of them, to me, they just don't really taste like an IPA. So I don't. To me, they're just more like a generic fruit beer with vanilla in them. This one at least does have that like resinous character, but it's still like a minor part of the beer. But it is just really weird to me that the aroma is like, I don't really get vanilla or hops in the aroma. It's like all guava, and then in the taste, the vanilla and the hops are the most predominant flavor. That's very strange. You don't usually have that happen, but that's just a good example of smelling a beer does not mean that's what it's going to taste like. And sometimes something can taste good and not smell good, so it's you have to do both, obviously. But on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I'm going to call this one a drink. I'll definitely go through the rest of this can. It's fine, but I wouldn't buy this again. And I will say the mango one I wasn't a huge fan of, but I think I probably liked it better than this. They just need to find a way to really meld these together and not make it. These also are like pretty sweet too, which I don't want in an IPA. Like if you could somehow do the milkshake IPA, like sans the lactose, where it's dry, but still has the fruit flavor and a little bit of vanilla, like I'd be all for that. And that's what that frap that I did a review for from Charleston Fermentary, that was like that. Like I'd be all for that, but this is too sweet and too much vanilla for me to like really get down with it and want to drink more than this one can I have. So yeah, this is just a drink for me, but I think that's all I got on this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.